Welcome back, friends, to Build a Lot Acres. In today's video, we're going to be making a rear weight for the Sears. Stay tuned. So obviously today's video is going to be specific to the Sears, but you could apply this type of weight and make your own for any brand garden tractor. So most garden tractors are going to come with this style hitch, just a regular pin tow hitch. The problem with these is they're low to the ground. You can't really use them on balls, pintles, different types of hitches. And they're just limited overall on what they can do. So I'm gonna do something that I think is a better alternative, and I'm gonna explain why. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this heavy 5/8 plate, drill some holes to go into these holes that are already there. These holes are actually for the 3-point hitch, which I do have. And I do have a 3-point weight, but I'm gonna get into why I don't like it later in the video. So we're gonna take that plate, and then we're going to take this standard 2-inch receiver hitch tube. We're going to cut it on an angle so it sits level against that plate. Nice, strong weld. And that's going to give us a lot of potential options of things to tow. Let's get into some of the advantages. So it's a rainy day. This is a perfect day for this project. So let's get into some of the advantages. So, like I said, the Sears factory hitch is really low to the ground, so it really limits what you can tow. A lot of the things I want to tow have bigger tires. They're higher off the ground and need a higher up point to tow from. Things like my wood splitter, multiple trailers I have, all have higher hitches, and that would just be way too low. The trailer would be dived down like this. Those are really meant for like little lawn carts, the 10 cubic foot lawn carts with the 16-inch or so tires. Those are what those hitches are meant for. The other advantage is it's going to be easy to switch type of hitch. If I want to have a ball hitch, pinto hitch, just a regular pin hitch like that has. I could even put my portable vise on there from sharpening saws in the woods. So I can easily put different hitches, or styles of hitches I should say, on there with just a pull of one pin. And the last advantage is, the reason I'm making it mainly is I'm going to be using that to mount a weight into. I'm going to have a heavy weight. It's going to be adjustable with how much weight there is. And that's going to be on a 2-inch receiver tube. It's going to go in there. And that's going to allow me to put an easy on, easy off weight. Because you really need that weight when you're, plowing snow, snow blowing. There's a lot of chores that you're going to be doing, and you need a lot of traction. And to get that traction, you need a lot of weight pushing down on those tires. Because this is only a 2-wheel drive tractor, and it does not have a locking differential. So a lot of times it's really more like a 1-wheel drive tractor. So that weight and traction is critical for getting jobs done. How the heck do you figure out the angle to cut the tube at? Let's go over a couple different ways you could use. Take a level. It's going to work better if you have a nice square edge. This end has the, the guard piece. This end's missing it, but this end's going to be a lot easier to use. So we're going to take that and do it so you guys can see what I'm doing. You're going to get that level, and when it's level, and you got that on there, looks like it's about 35 degrees, because you want to look at where the level intersects this. So 35 degrees is what that's showing. Another way you could do, if you don't have a speed square, you could take one of these squares. These are adjustable. And put it against the hitch, put a level on the top portion, and then just go down until you hit level. Looks like right about there. And then you could take that, transfer it onto your piece of steel. So let's put 35 degrees on a piece of wood as a template and try it. All right, so I got my scrap piece of wood. I cut a 35-degree angle. I'm gonna level it and see if it's right. If it's not, we can adjust. I would say it could be maybe 1 degree more, but I would actually prefer it to go up just ever so slightly, because there's going to be weight pushing down, and it's probably that 1 degree is easily going to flex, I think. So let's leave it as it is. You could go 36 degrees, but I think 35 degrees is perfect for these Sears rear plates. Got the piece cut. The angle looks good. I also beveled the 4 edges so that when I weld this to the plate, we get a nice strong connection. Well, I think that's going to work a lot better than what was there. Now I have the ability to tow multiple different things. Pin hitch, ball hitch, pinto hitch, tow hook, adjustable height hitch, vise, and many more. So another use that I'm probably going to end up using for is a carry-all. You saw the wooden one I made for the Coyote in my other video. Put that right on here, then I have the ability to carry chainsaws, gas, chains, gloves, all the different tools I'm going to need out in the wood yard. And I could also use this as its main purpose, which is going to be a weight bracket. I got to figure out a way how I want to do that. I'm thinking at this point I'm just going to take a 2-inch tube, weld a rectangle piece of steel, some holes, and then I can easily mount wheel weights or something that's easily available that I have already. It's not going to cost me any money. And I can also adjust the amount of weight doing that. I think, somewhere in the 100 to 150 pound range is probably what I'm going to want for this, for snow removal for weight, but you can reduce that for other seasons. You can make it more. That's the beauty of the system, is it really allows you to do a lot of things with this hitch that you wouldn't be able to do with a regular pin hitch that it comes with. What do you guys think of my John Deere hat? Sometimes I turn it around so you can't see it. I don't actually own any John Deere equipment. I don't even know where this hat came from. My father has had John Deere equipment in the past. He still has some John Deere heavy construction equipment, but hat's a hat. It's keeping my head warm. I actually gotta find, I have a nice gray hat that goes better with this Carhartt coat, but I don't know where it is. I gotta find it. So let's talk about some of the other weight options that I've done in the past and why I didn't like them as much. Because I did mention earlier in the video that I was going to talk about the Sears 3-point hitch weight setup that I have. So the Sears 3-point hitch in general is just not really a very good design, in my opinion. The main reasons I say that is, A, it's a manual lift. There's a huge lever that you pick the hitch up and down, which that lever can get caught in the tire, and I can't tell you how many times I've been plowing or snow blowing snow, and that lever just falls down by itself. The whole hitch falls onto the ground. I actually have a 5-gallon pail full of concrete my brother made. Probably weighs 80, 90 pounds, so it's a nice weight, but the hitch swings around, the bar rubs in the tires. Like I said, it drops by itself, and there's really no up and down adjustment. It's not hydraulic, so you don't have any adjustments, either all the way up or all the way down. And it seems like every time I snow blow, it falls by itself, starts dragging, and it's just a real pain. And like I said, it does sway side to side. There's no real good sway system. So the other thing I don't like about the 3-point hitch in the Sears is it's narrower than a standard category 0 3-point hitch. So it's really not, nothing will fit it as far as implements other than Sears specific implements, or I suppose you could make some homemade implement, but None of the standard category 0 stuff will fit it. The only Sears that had standard category 0 that I'm aware of are the FF series, like the FF 18, 20, 24. I think there might have been a 16. I believe those 4 FFs. That was kind of like Sears Super Garden Tractor, which I do talk about in my biggest, baddest garden tractors ever made video, which I'll link at the end of this video. So I had the 5-gallon pail of concrete on the Sears 3-point hitch. I'll show a picture of that. And then the other thing that I have done is I had a Craftsman GT6000, which is kind of a newer version of this. It has similar transmission. It's a similar tractor. It was like a 1993, 94 model. And it had the similar angled plate in the back. So what I did is I poured a big concrete block. I figured out the angle, and then it had a bolt that went through here and then a couple on there. And I'll show a picture of that too. So that worked well. I think the block weighed, same thing, around 90 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. But the problem was it was kind of a one-trick pony. It was a pain to take on and off because it was heavy and awkward. And you couldn't use the hitch with that block on there. So if you wanted to tow a trailer, you had to take the block off. And it just wasn't very multi-purpose. So I feel like this weight system is going to be far superior, more multi-purpose, and this thing is going to do a better job. And for anyone wondering why I did such a thick plate, this is a 5/8 inch thick steel plate. There was no particular reason for that. That's just what I had laying around. I was trying to use stuff I had, so I didn't have to buy anything. The only thing I really had to buy was the actual hitch, which was $15 at Harbor Freight. But the 5/8 plate will be really nice because it's going to be nice and strong, and it's going to add a little bit of weight, which is kind of the whole purpose of this. But you could use 1/4 inch plate, 3/8, half, whatever you have available to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.